Hello friends, welcome to Shauna Stitches. I'm Shauna and this is my crafty podcast where I talk about all the things that I've been working on lately. Today is August the 6th and it's 11:19. I'm guessing by the time we're finished with this it will be August 7th, and this is episode number 75. Thank you everyone for being here. I appreciate all your likes, comments, and subscriptions to my channel. I am so thankful for all of you. You might have noticed in the intro, which I haven't made yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be there, that I have a new logo. Actually, several iterations of the same logo, but I, after 7 years, finally reached out to someone about getting some kind of official design for my podcast, my page, whatever you want to call it. Very happy with it. It was a smooth process, and maybe I'll remember to talk about that a little bit later. And if not, there you go. That's what we have. I have show notes, which are right down there. So if you see me glancing down, I have so many things to talk about because quite frankly, it's been a very long time since I've done a full podcast. Part of that is because I decided sort of last minute to do a video almost every single day of Tour de Fleece, which for me, I just did all through July. And as you've heard me say before, July tends to be one of my busiest months at work. Really all summer, but July with the 4th of July right in there. Lots of overtime, lots of work, and it was quite a feat to do. So if you are interested in that, I talk about all of my projects, not just spinning, and there's a playlist. So that I will try and remember to link down below. And you can check in on my daily spinning and project progress. You know what? I forgot my coffee up there. I'm going to reach for that. I'll be right back. I said it's 11 o'clock at night and I'm drinking coffee. And that's because if you didn't know, one other thing that has been a wrench thrown into my plans for the summer is that I'm working night shift, which means that my days off, I'm also trying to keep a night shift schedule. It's been very difficult. I've worked a lot of nights in my life. This is the first time I've tried to keep the schedule going, and I know it's better for me health-wise, and I do think it is because I would go 30 plus hours without sleeping quite often before, but it still has its challenges. I'm drinking out of a Christmas mug because I can. I'm not bothered by what month it says it's for. Okay, let's get started with some knitting. All right, the very first thing I have to show you is a pair of socks that I finished for Super Sock World Championship. I'm guessing that this was round 1, but I honestly can't remember anymore. There we are. These are called the Repeat After Me socks. I can't tell if that's in focus. There we go. So for these, the background color is sort of a gray and the contrast is a marled purple. So it has I can't tell if it's gray and purple or black and purple, but I think it's very striking in these socks. I do have 2 of them and they fit really well. I should have mentioned you can find links everywhere. You can find me down below, which is Ravelry, Instagram, YouTube, which is probably where you're watching this here. And there will be a link to this project and every project that I talk about with pretty detailed notes. If for some reason going to those notes doesn't give you the answer you're looking for, or you can't access Ravelry and you still have questions, just please reach out and let me know. More than happy to fill you in, because if I could remember what size needle I knit this on, I would tell you. It was probably a 2.75. But I don't remember. And my notes also say that the pattern designer for this was Stitchee, and I'm not sure if that's right because it might have auto-corrected, but the designer, yarn information will all be on my project page. All right, so I have a lot of socks, so that's no surprise, right? But I'm going to have to do a lot of sock blocker changes. The next pair of finished socks, maybe I'll just put 1 on the blocker. I think 1's good. These were my June Desert Vista Dyeworks socks. Just a nice plain vanilla sock. I do 20 rounds of 2x2 ribbing. I do a 42 row slip stitch heel flap. And the rest is just sort of a standard vanilla sock. If you've heard me talk about it before, I do an extra long heel flap because ideally you want the very top of this heel flap to come to the base of your ankle bone. And I have a high instep, so that is what fits me perfectly. I do have 2 socks, and no, they are not perfectly matching, and I'm totally okay with that. So I think I might just fly through some of these. I mean, what's there to say about a vanilla sock? What I can say is this was my June pair, so I finished all the first 6 months of the year, which entitled me to a free skein of Desert Vista Dyeworks yarn. And I picked Zom Eeyore, which I haven't gotten yet, but I'm a big Eeyore fan. Okay, the next thing I have to show you is not socks. It's the Musselburgh hat that I knit, holding 1 strand of Aimee lace weight, and I can't remember what kind of, it was Isager. Yes, I'm not sure that I say that right, but Isager Mohair. The lace weight by Aimee was called Peach Sweater, and that's where you see those color variations. The sort of dirty pink is how I think of it. And the mohair was just sort of a peach color. So as you know, it's a extra long tube, which I knit this extra long because I really like a very long hat. I knit the medium width hat, but I knit the extra long length because I really like a hat that folds up over my ears, because I get the worst earaches in the wind. It doesn't even matter if it's cold or not. So this is what it looks like when it's not folded up. Could you imagine how slouchy this would be? I never wear slouchy hats. How funny is that? I don't know. It's not terrible, I guess. There, if we do that, I've seen people wear them like this. Also, I feel like I am the only person that wears a hat on my forehead. Everyone else I see wears them like this, and I'll be honest, I can't keep a hat on like this. It just pops right off my head. So everyone else must have a different shaped head than me because it doesn't work. So let's try this on the way I intend to wear it. So there we go. You can see there is a nice wide brim to cover my forehead. Not like this. It still feels like it's going to pop right off. And it covers my entire ear as a 4 thickness, 4 layers. Yes. And there is just a little bit of room up there. I don't know if you can see that I could probably fit my hair in a bun, which is how I generally wear it. So this is going to be the perfect winter hat. I'm so excited for it. The lace weight was it was a breed specific, and I think it was 2 breeds, but I don't remember. And they weren't the softest, but with the mohair, it's super soft. And I haven't worn this long enough to know, like, will it get itchy? But I can tell you just the time I've had it on here, I have 0 itch factor, no prickle factor, and it feels good. I find that mohair in hats like really helps cut down on how much wind goes through, and that really helps. All right, let's see. The next thing we have that we finished are another pair of socks. I think I have mohair in my face. These socks still have all of the stitch markers in for counting. This is Super Sock World Championship again. And these socks are called the Mesmerizing Socks by, oh yes, by a name that I cannot say. Definitely a different country or different language. Mone, Dräger. It has the 2 dots over the A. I'm not sure exactly what that means. But really interesting pattern. These are so cool. The way that the gusset is done is by gradually widening these heel stitches, heel sections. So you can see it goes from just a few stitches up here to 2 more stitches there. It was very, very genius. They fit great. And the sole, come on. Hopefully there we go. Nope, it's in and out of focus. I don't know. Hopefully you got to see that. These were pretty neat, and I think this might have been Super Stock World Championship round 2, but again, I don't really remember. Everything's a blur lately. So yes, in case you are doubting, since you didn't see them at the exact same time, there are 2 socks. I haven't worn any of these yet. I mean, obviously I have not worn the ones with the markers still in them, but I haven't worn any of my Sock Madness socks or my Super Stock World Champion socks, and I will talk about that in a moment. Let's get through these finished objects first. My next finished object is a pressed flowers hat. I love this. I love this stitch pattern. I love every single design that has come out with this. This is by Aimee Christoffers, and I know she has like a brand name, which I can't think of at the moment. But she has the cardigan, the shawl, which honestly the shawl I'm least interested in, but there's also a cowl. There's now a pullover. Like, I want to make them all. I cannot see getting tired of this. I love flowers. It's just so pretty. So I picked a very basic green as my sort of background color. It's a Premier Yarns, oh come on, which is discontinued. I used to buy this from Joann's, and I used this beautiful skein that I picked up while I was in Colorado from Colorful Yarns. Amazing yarn shop. I love it. I wish that was my LYS. But this is from Yarn Hero. Come on. And it is beautiful. It looks a whole lot like Spin Cycle. This color, I believe, is called Celebration, which I did not find on the Yarn Hero website. So it might be a color that's discontinued. And I don't know what to say about this. This is their sock version. But anyway, this hat used up like 20 grams. This is what I have left after knitting this hat. So I can knit, I think, 4 hats with this. So my plan is to do all very similar hats as this one with that yarn. I don't know that I have enough green, but I have other greens in stash that I could use, or maybe I could use white for some of them. Anyway, I'm going to make some for gifts, and honestly, I'm going to keep the one that I like the best because I deserve the best hat, I think. So here we are. This is just a nice, I mean, it is a little slouchy. I think I could definitely get a bun in there. I have not blocked it, but I think it looks pretty good. And it's a nice spring or like fall hat. It's not going to be super warm, I don't think. It's not really thick, 2 fingering weight yarns. And of course, this is mosaic knitting. So it looks kind of like stranded on the inside. Why are we not focusing? Here we go. In and out, no idea why. But yes, I really love this. I was hoping to get a little more of the pink. That's why I'm saying, like, this might not be the one I keep for myself, but I could see a lot of my friends or family enjoying this hat. So that's what I have to say about that. I do have, this is kind of like a work in progress, but I did start the second one. I haven't gotten very far, and I have mohair everywhere. All right, next thing is the last finished object. How many was that? I don't even know. I lost count. It was a lot. This right here is my July finished Desert Vista Dyeworks socks. This is in the color Eau Clark, and this I felt was fitting for July for a couple reasons. First of all, you can do Christmas in July because Eau Clark is a reference to, is it National Lampoon's Christmas, Clark Griswold. But also, is that not very red, white, and blue? I thought so. So dual purpose kind of Christmas in July / 4th of July / patriotic. Even though it's not intended to be patriotic, you know, it works. Again, I do have two. They are very close to matching. Not quite, but they do match. Or they don't match, but they're close. You can see this one ended on blue, and this has just a little bit more color after the blue. Same old vanilla sock recipe. All right. There's something I was going to tell you about, and I don't remember what it was. My brain. I know. I think that I am not going to do Super Sock World Championship next year, and I probably won't do Sock Madness next year. I have really enjoyed knitting all the socks and learning new things, trying new sock patterns, but I feel like the first half of this year has been completely consumed by socks and deadlines and just like manic rush to finish knitting, and all of my other projects that I want to work on are not getting done. So, as much as I have enjoyed both of those, I'm thinking maybe I will do the qualifiers. That way I can get all the patterns, but then not necessarily have to knit them. That's my current thought process, and a lot could change by 2024. So, let's show you a few works in progress. All right, the first one I have to show you is actually pretty exciting. And I should have organized this a bit better, but I didn't. Let's see here. Is that every color? Yes. Let's just show you one of every color. This is the crochet blanket Maya's Meadow. And I think the pattern designer Dedri, I still am probably saying that wrong. She is already up to clue number 7 or part number 7, and I don't know how many parts there are. I'm still on number 1. For many reasons, partly because of sock deadlines, partly because I can only crochet so much without pain. But I'd like to show you all these at the same time, but I think I have to do them one at a time. So there's a pink petal, and you can see there's just 3 pink colors here, slightly different. And I had to make 6 of these. I'm completely done with the pink. There's a nice big pink stack. And I should say that this pattern is designed for fingering weight yarn, and I'm using DK weight yarn. So I fully expect, what the heck is that? I fully expect that my Maya's Meadow blanket is going to be ginormous, and I'm very excited about it. And quite honestly, even if I was working with fingering weight yarn, it still wouldn't be any faster. Like, the stitch would still take the same amount of time, I think. So I should have a nice big blanket by the time I finally finish. The next color I have are these. I'm using one of the same pinks. Then I have this, I don't know what you call that. It's a light orangey color. And then I have this sort of salmon color. And I have to do 6 of those. I don't know. I just have a bunch in here that are like partially done. Like this one just needs the outside on it. So I'm kind of, at first I was doing just one full motif by itself, and then now I'm kind of like batching them. So do all this color inside, and then do all this color, and then do all that. So I haven't worked on it in a while. My third color is this sort of seafoam green, light blue, and teal. And eventually these will all make flower motifs. And my last color is light purple, sort of a denim blue, come on, and dark purple. So let's see, I don't know if I can hold up 4 of these at once. But I think these will make a really nice color palette. They are very, very similar to the colors that the designer used, but I just went ahead and used what I had in stash. I only had to buy 2 colors so far, and I think it might be the only 2 I need to buy, but I bought this corally color, this outside one, and I had something similar in stash, and I thought to myself, I'll just use what stash I have and then go to Joann's, that's where I got this yarn, and buy more if I need it. well, that was a fantastic idea until I went to Joann's and realized that this yarn I purchased long enough ago that they no longer carry it. So it wasn't possible to start and then pick up with something else. So I decided to just get enough to do this project, but I only needed 2 colors, which, considering I think I have probably 14 colors total, the fact that I only needed to get 2 is pretty good. What was the other color I bought? I think the other color was this seafoam green in the middle here. So all in all, not too bad, I think. And I'm really itching to work on this some more. But deadline knitting. So along with saying that I'm not going to do Sock Madness or Super Sock World Championship, I've already quit for this year. I didn't do rounds 3 or 4. I started round 3 and almost didn't finish my July Desert Vista Dyeworks socks and just realized like I have to prioritize one over the other, and I didn't want to lose my streak of having the Desert Vista Dyeworks socks done, so I just went ahead and prioritized those, and there's just no way I would have finished both by the deadline. And same thing with this one. Well, let me show you works in progress. So I have finished one of my Desert Vista Dyeworks for August. This is the color Happy Birthday Cupcake. And it is my August yarn because August is my birthday month. I don't know why. This is a new phone since the last time I recorded a regular podcast. And I feel like it's a lot pickier about wanting to focus. And I don't know why that is. Because before, you used to just block your face. And there's definitely no part of my face showing. And yet this does not want to focus. How annoying is that? Anyway, so one of these are done. And I have just finished the cuff on the second one. So these, I think, are actually going to match. Who am I? It'll be my first pair, I think, that actually matches out of the Desert Vista Dyeworks yarn. Mostly because I usually don't want to cut off a large chunk. I do have plans for my leftovers of this, although my plan will not take all of the yarn. I'll tell you what my plan is. My plan is to do something like a 24 stripe sock, like for Advent, but using all the different colors I use throughout the year. So I think it'll be more than 24 stripes. My socks take more than 24 stripes. These people who get away with 12 stripes on the foot are amazing to me. I don't know how you do that. Let's see. This doesn't really count because like these stripes are extra wide, but I guess this is technically 13, but super wide stripes. I can't remember how many I had on my actual Advent socks, but way more than other people for some reason. And let's see, let's talk about more works in progress. I need another sock blocker. Socks, socks, socks. This one's an exciting one, I think. This is the, I always get it wrong. I always want to say Color Blast. It's Contrast Blast socks. This was the Secret Sock something along, super secret, I don't know. Stephen West. It was Stephen West. So clue 1 was the cuff. Come on. There we go. Cuff, which has this really cool cable down into these stair-step motifs. And then clue 2 was the brick-looking pattern and the heel. And clue 3 was the gusset and more stair steps. And clue 4 was, again, not really the brick. It's different than the brick, but similar texture-wise. There you go. And my sock gauge plus foot size meant that I had to do a little bit more here after this. And what an interesting toe. I have never done a broken rib toe before. That's what this is. It looks pretty cool. It fits a little weird though. Everyone I've seen have these on like the toe just looks tight, like it's really snug on the foot. And I don't know why that is exactly. Like mine look the same way and I have plenty of room, but also you can see this is unblocked. Like it's just a weird shape. Some people really don't like this. I think it's fun. Of course, I've been doing a lot of very weird socks lately, so this is just right par for the course. But I love this heel. It's really pretty. Come on. We focus, then we don't. And I love my colors. What did I do with that? I was kind of bummed because when this pattern came out, the yarn requirements, it talked about needing a full skein, so 100 grams of each. And before I realized how much it was supposed to take, I picked out these two colors, which I absolutely love. They are both by, I think they're both by Leading Men Fiber Arts. Yes, both by Leading Men Fiber Arts. This green is the color Lucky Charm. And the pink is Just Peachy. Oh, come on. And I thought these would go together so well. Well, the problem is I started looking at people's finished, like the testers' finished yarn requirements. And some of them were saying like 60 grams that they needed total, which would be more than these, which are only 50 grams each. So when I was so these are from Colorado. And then when I was in a Joann's in Colorado, they had this. This is knit and crochet. They call it hand dyed. I'm sure it's not hand dyed like we think of hand dyed, but still it's a 75-25 sock yarn. It's kind of tonal. And my initial colors that I got were these. And I thought, I like those, okay. But I really liked the pink. So I ended up ordering the pink online, and that's what I went for. And I figured this would work for one of the Super Sock World Champion socks, but I haven't cast those on. It could be part of the Stephen West Mystery Shawl. You never know. And yes, anyway, all that to say, this took less than 25 grams of each color. So my whole pair should take less than 50 grams of each. So I could have used my original yarns and not had to buy more yarn. But it is what it is. These will be something amazing. Maybe these will even be a second pair. Who knows? I'd like to knit Glenn a pair, but not with those colors. And his will probably for sure take more than 25 grams of each because he has real big feet. So I have just started sock number 2, which is the left sock. These do have directions. So this is the right sock, which means the cables, I don't know, the cables go a certain direction. I'd say they go to the right, but I don't know. And that is that. So when I get finished with my August Desert Vista Dyeworks socks, I would really like to get this one done next. I think we are down to just one more work in progress, which I am very excited about. Oh, you know what? I think I forgot something. Oh, no, I see it. Never mind. I'm losing it, guys. Okay, my next and last work in progress is this little tiny baby start to the Attune Shawl. And that's the front side or right side, and this is the back side. So the main difference is that on this side you can see more of the gray with the sort of purple color as the background. And this side you can see more of that purple showing through. This focus thing, I need to figure this out. So this is exciting because this is my very meager start to the Spin to Knit Attune, which is the pattern is by Andrew Mowry, and the overall discussion board on Ravelry is being hosted by Rachel Smith of Wool and Spinning. And I have spun all of this. It's so exciting. When we were in Colorado, I picked up a drop spindle, which I don't have here in the room with me, but on this drop spindle, I bought 8 ounces of Coriadel roving. And I proceeded to start spinning. And 8 ounces is a lot. That's a lot for me on a wheel. It's a lot on a drop spindle. Never in my life did I think I would be able to finish 8 ounces on a drop spindle. But I have. That is all of my gray Coriadel. It's all a traditional 3-ply. And it is somewhere between a fingering and sport weight. So it's a woolen prep, but worsted spun, and I love it. This is 699 yards, and my grist was in the 1400 range. And then I have started doing the contrast color, which I haven't finished yet, but this was a small little sample that I did, just to make sure that the way I was spinning was giving me the weight that I wanted. I am spinning this so much thicker than my normal. Again, this is between a fingering and a sport weight. But when I say it's thicker, my normal 2-ply, that's what this is, would have been fine lace weight. So trying to step outside of your normal spin and do something either thicker or thinner than what you normally do, it's quite a challenge. It's also a challenge to get this camera to work. But anyway, so I ran out of the gray color at the time, and I have just this little bit. I should cast on and just finish this up, but we'll get to that. So I have just finished my first plying ball of the colorful yarn. And this eventually will get plied with the rest of it. So this was 45.9 grams, which means I have a lot to go. I think I have 240 grams of this color. So that's going to be really awesome. I cannot wait to get really moving with that shawl. I think that is all of my, that is all of my works in progress, my finished objects, all the things going on. So what else? I feel like I flew through all of that, which is good. I need to still film the June and July State of the Stash videos, because I'm also way behind on that. And I guess life stuff. I've had a lot going on. Again, nothing particularly exciting or fascinating, but I did have a close call at work the other day. I was out of my work vehicle and it got rear-ended by a driver that pushed my car into the car in front of me at probably about 35 to 40 miles per hour. I was standing right next to the other car. Luckily, I was not hurt, but that was a very scary moment. And mostly I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do for my crafting. It seems like it keeps changing, and I have all these things I'd like to cast on, but I also have all these whips. So I think my current progress is going to be made on working on some older projects. That being said, I for sure want to work on the Attune Shawl once I get the yarn done, because there is a sort of deadline for that. And I will continue to work on my monthly Desert Vista Dyeworks socks. That's the one that I'm on the fence about working on next year or not. I really enjoy, so far, this is my first year, but I enjoy the process of working towards earning a skein of yarn that only the people that are participating and complete the 12 months get. I think that's pretty cool. But I know for sure I could easily pick 12 skeins out of my stash, do sort of the same thing, cast on the first, be done by the end of the month, and using some stash. Now the Desert Vista Dyeworks I do buy ahead of time, so technically it's stash, but it doesn't feel like I am making a ton of progress. So anyway, that's my thought process there. And I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up so I can finish editing this, upload it, and maybe get another video or two recorded. I do appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much. And as always, if you have any comments or questions, please drop them down below. I always appreciate hearing from you all, and I will talk to you all soon. Hopefully sooner than the last time. Bye.